overcoming the fear of death. One of the greatest terrors of all mankind is the fear of death. Fear of death is one of the most primordial human phobias since the beginning of time, and it's still one of the most prevalent worries among humans today. But will we always have it? And should we? Our impending demise is designed to wake us up to the limitations of our mortality, and it is nothing but the most critical moment of our lives. Moreover, fear of death can take your life before you even die. So, learning how to overcome this fright is a must to live fully with a heart full of gratitude and joy. Continue watching as we are about to unravel to you the tips for overcoming death. What is the fear of death? Fear of death is the fear of non-existence, mortality, or dying, while death anxiety is referred to as thanatophobia. It is sometimes mistakenly referred to as the fear of death, but it's not quite the same. You can feel anxious sometimes, but it doesn't mean you suffer from anxiety. Same with the fear of death and death anxiety. This fear is inevitable and has been causing panic in our minds, but there are spiritual ways to control this one. Here's how. Method number 1. Astral projection. You no longer identify yourself with a physical body. You come back with the understanding that you have a soul that will go on after death. An out-of-body experience or astral projection is an effective way to overcome the fear of death. When you experience out-of-body experience, you feel like an astronaut watching the Earth from space. This cognitive shift in awareness gives you a sense of awe, expands your spatial perception, and reframes your reality and your place within it. When you glimpse back at your physical body during astral projection, you'll realize you aren't your physical body. Your sense of self expands, and you overcome the fear of death. This explains why having an out-of-body experience can radically decrease death anxiety and help you elevate your understanding of who you are. If you can transmute one of the greatest fears, you can reap the greatest benefits. Method number 2. Lucid dreaming. Most people don't die consciously because we die as we dream. In the ancient Tibetan Buddhist tradition, lucid dreaming is considered one of the most profound spiritual practices due to its direct connection to conscious dying. Tibetan Buddhists believe in rebirth after death, but before you're reborn into your next life, you must find yourself first in a place called Bardo. More precisely, the term Bardo isn't a place, but an after-death state of existence between two lives, the current and the next. This intermediate stage is believed to be dreamlike. This is why the combination of tantric processes and techniques they use to prepare themselves for conscious dying is called dream yoga. So, how does this method help them in dying consciously? As the mind separates from a physical body at the point of death, it flips inwardly and experiences the totality of its own projection. He also added that mastering lucid dreaming can aid you in recognizing the moment of your own dying. In other words, if you can train your mind to recognize your dreams, you can recognize the Bardo state, in which you will see that death is nothing but your ultimate dream. The process of falling asleep simulates the process of dying, so every night, you get a trial run of death and dying. So, in order to master the art of conscious dying, you might want to master the process of falling asleep, consciously maintaining full awareness as you pass through a hypnagogic state into sleep. It's similar to the aha moment of recognition that you're dreaming. But in this case, it's a lucid death. Thus, if you want to overcome the fear of death, practice lucid dreaming. Method number 3. Transcending your ego. The more you surrender yourself to being a channel, the less you will be governed by the ego. Your ego is an evolutionary part of you operating out of instinct. It helps you maneuver this life in order to survive. And fear of death is the ego's most effective tool to do its job effectively. When the ego dominates your perception and your actions, you won't be able to live fully since you operate from fear. On top of that, you dwell on the illusion of separation from others and life itself. Beckwith calls this stage of consciousness victim consciousness. It is when you believe that life is happening to you and your destiny is dependent on external circumstances. Contrary to victim consciousness, when you surrender to life and allow it to happen through you, you will see life as eternal and unaltered by your experiences and perceptions. By this, death will no longer threaten you, because you'll be governed by your higher self with a broader perception and will move from fear to excitement as you live in this present moment. After all, what can be more real and eternal than now? Method number 4. Celebrating being alive. Above all other things you prioritize, your aliveness is what makes other things important. Your family, your job, your country. Being half alive is what makes people miserable. When you are fully alive, it is natural for you to resonate sweetness and joy. Just think of an apple tree being fully alive and sweet without you asking it to be so. Then, here's the question. How can you be fully alive? Simple. By practicing gratitude that you are alive right now. Every moment in your life must be appreciated, especially the fact that you can do whatever you want for this day, because you are still given the chance to see life. How long does it take to overcome the fear of death? It may sound easy as it sounds, but overcoming the fear of death can take a lifetime. However, as you intentionally move towards greater awareness, taking full responsibility for your life, and accepting that death is a natural process, trust me, you can live your life fully and finally live without fear of death, simply because the joy of living governs your entire existence. Thanks for watching this video. If you think this is helpful, hit thumbs up and share it to others. Click the subscribe button so you won't miss any videos like this. Bye. See you next time.